Welcome to the channel. My name is Hunter. I am the Sacred Gunner, and today we're going to talk about my Polymer80 Glock 17 Zaffiri precision build. So, let's get into it. So, as I said, we're going to talk about my Polymer80 Glock 17 build. This thing is sick, and it is quite the shooter. Not only does it look awesome, I mean, it is gold, so there's that. It just works really well. Let's get it over to the table and talk about it. So, looking at the gun itself, as I said, we have a Polymer80 frame with a Zaffiri precision slide and barrel. We'll start with the frame here. As I said, it's a Polymer80. And if you guys don't know what a Polymer80 is, it's essentially a frame that you can buy and you can finish it yourself. It is not a firearm when you purchase it. And you just drill out a couple holes and file some stuff down and you have yourself a pathway to creating whatever kind of firearm you want. And it is completely legal in most states. It depends on where you live. So I'm sorry if you live in a slave state. As I said, it's a Polymer80. It is the PF940V2, so they're full-size Glock 17 frame, so it holds 17 plus 1 rounds. The stippling on it, as you can see right here, the grip and the stippling is nice. So normally, a normal like Gen 3, because it is a Gen 3, Glock kind of has a hump back here. Most Glocks do. This is more of a 1911 straight back, straightforward grip. And the stippling, the texture on the grip itself is really, really nice, if you can see that. It's nice and aggressive. It doesn't obviously like hurt your hands, but you can definitely get a nice grip on it, and that thing is not going to go anywhere in sweaty or wet conditions for sure. Up front here, you have a full pick rail. You got 4 slots, so you can put almost any light, any accessory you want to put up here. You got plenty of room. The trigger guard is a double undercut, so it's nice. You can get your finger way up top here. You can get as high up on the gun as you possibly can. The extended mag release I have here is a Tyrant design, CNC milled billet aluminum. It's nice. It doesn't get in the way. You can easily release the mag, and you don't accidentally bump it when you're using the firearm itself. Looking up top here, we got this Zaffiri Precision Slide and Barrel. If you guys don't know who they are, they're a US company, and they make aftermarket Glock slides, parts, and other guns as well, like SIG and stuff like that, and they make great stuff. So this is their tin/gold finish. It is the ZPS .6 version slide, so this one has 3 window cuts here, it has one up top here, and it also has 3 on the back side right here. You can use those to actuate the gun if you want. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you've been shooting for a while, because obviously it's going to be really hot right here where the barrel's at, but it does work. You can get your fingers in there, and it's better than a slick slide. Back here, we got some rear serrations. They're nice. You can easily grab those. Easily grab that and rack the slide. No problem there whatsoever. They're nice. There's another one that I have from Zaffiri Precision that I like better, and we'll do a review on that gun separately, but they get the job done. They're nice. I got a Holosun 507C up top here with some Ameriglow night sights, suppressor height sights. So the nice thing with these sights is you can co-witness them. So you can see the very edge of that sight right there. You can co-witness that with the red dot itself. So if the optic were to go down, which will probably never happen, but if it were to, you can just co-witness your sight and you'd have no problem acquiring whatever you need to shoot at. The barrel is a black nitride barrel. It is flush and crown, so up top here, the barrel is cut in, and obviously it does not extend past the slide like some do. So that's nice. It looks cool. I don't know what it does other than that. I think it's just a cosmetic thing, but hey, we're all about that. Looking good's half the battle. Now, probably the best part of this gun is the trigger. This is a Timney Alpha competition trigger. So the trigger pull itself is 3 pounds out of the box. And then I also have a Wolf like ghost connector back here, 3.5 pound ghost connector, trigger connector, and man, is this thing nice. So I'll show you the take up here. So there's that. That's the take up right there. Not a lot, a little more than I'd like, but not a lot. And then you hit a wall and it breaks. Show you the reset here. Nice and crisp. You're back at the wall and it breaks. So one more time, you got the take up, you're at the wall and it breaks. And it's such a nice trigger. And another cool thing about this trigger is on the trigger bar right here, not the trigger bar, the trigger pin, there's a spring. So you know, a normal Glock trigger, once you pull the trigger stays back. But with this guy, when I let my finger back, it's a dead trigger, but the trigger springs forward. So what it essentially is doing is pushing your finger forward with the idea that you'll be able to shoot faster. Now, I'm no competition shooter, and I never will be, and I never claim to be. But it's cool. It's a different idea, and I like it, and I think it works really well. I've had some trouble with this trigger in other guns, but with this gun, it has worked fine. I would have troubles with its setting and resetting and a whole bunch of other things with my other Polymer 80s. But this guy has worked great, and I've got no complaints with it. It's really nice. If you want to see a video on this trigger alone, just comment down below and we'll work that out. So what about the function? Well, with a Polymer 80, or if you're building any sort of gun, there's usually a learning curve. I mean, it depends on the pieces you use, the brands you use, stuff like that. But with a Polymer 80 handgun especially, a lot of the parts from different companies and such like that don't always blend together well, even if they're OEM. They just don't go together good. So with this guy, there was a break-in period, which Zaffiri does say, especially with their slides, because they Cerakote it or whatever they do to the finish, and it can kind of be a little sticky. And I would say it took quite a few rounds. I would say about 100 rounds before it fully broke in. But once it fully broke in, I didn't really have any problems with it at all. So once it broke in, it has worked fine. I think once I got the 100 or so rounds through it, I've had one stovepipe since then. So before that, you know, it would failure to feed, it would failure to eject. Sometimes I don't think that had anything to do with the slide, but it might have. But it doesn't matter, because after I got those couple hundred rounds in, it's worked just fine. I haven't shot a lot through this firearm. I'd say about 500 rounds, which again is not much, but for my budget, it's about all I can afford, especially in these times. And with the red dot and the Ameriglow sights, it's easy to acquire whatever you want to shoot at in almost any condition. I should get a light down here, but I don't have one, but hey, that's the way it is. Alright, so that's all I got for you guys. If you liked it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button, because YouTube doesn't believe in people not liking things anymore. So it doesn't matter. No one can see it. Only I can see it, and only my ego will be hurt because of it. So if you want to do that, you go right ahead and do that. Make sure to stay tuned. Comment down below. If you got any ideas or any comments or any questions, think I left anything out, put them down below and I'll get back to you. So until next time, go buy a gun, talk to your pastor, and we'll see y'all in the next video.